democracy is important to guarantee the rights for everyone without taking care of the difference of religious, ethnicity, race, gender. And the best way to do it is by the laws. Try to make first like the ideas of why you have to defend this policy and why you are rejecting the policy. Okay? And then the policies.
So imagine your political party, yours have rejected?
No.
Proposed?
They were not.
Yeah. Okay, so you have proposed this new policy. So you as a party, so you should see yourself as a unity. No, we don't like that. But you have this, we have numbers, you have this, we have that. He said that, they took that. We have numbers here. That is absolutely like
You said that we don't object teaching girls. Actually, the problem is that we have limited resources, so it's the best alternative. Other alternatives have high costs. That's why we are choosing this. And we can also make anyone who will graduate from any boy who will graduate, he has to learn, he has to teach another girl in order to be graduated.
Conditions right now. You suggested that businessmen will have nothing to do with the education process.
The administration is just funding.
Just funding, okay? And the other suggestion?
That's it.
No, that was it. But this was, now you have girls educated. Okay? So now you have girls, this was your, this was your main
Target.
exactly here. So now you have to discuss, will you agree to that? Can you set a deal with them now that they have agreed that girls will become educated on these conditions? Okay? Okay, so we need a decision over here. Do you agree to that?
We have some modifications.
This raises suspicions about that you are lobbied by business.
We are not opposing the businessman thing, okay? This is the point. The other point is that we are asking, are the teachers that you are going to supply as a government are qualified to create...
Okay, go for the solution. Go for the solution. It has to be quick. We have 1 minute left. Come on, go for the solution. We guarantee that.
You guarantee that?
Let's go.
Yes.
Hey! Very good. So now we have both boys and girls educated. Okay? Was it difficult to reach a common decision? What is the hard part of this?
To convince the other party that
Exactly. And why is it we think that convincing? Because we want our own idea to be the one that is implied. A democracy doesn't work like that. That's the important thing of this exercise. A democracy is not about convincing. Okay? A democracy is about listening to each other.
According with my moral, what is the best way to act or to behave, or what would be the best decision to take in a particular situation? It doesn't matter what will be the result, but the important thing is that I will take the best decision and I will act or behave in the best way.
So sometimes a journalist has to break a rule or a law because he thinks he acts in alignment with the ethics of responsibility. Because even though he breaks the law, even though he might get access to some documents that are confidential, and he cannot, he's not supposed to make it official for the population, but because he believes that this is in the interest of the public, he does it anyways. And then it's considered the ethics of responsibility because it's part of
for a while.
One of the main pillars of the basis usually is the religion. Here, for example, it can be the Islam. Yeah, but there is a root. But it's the religion is the ideas who they use or what they promote to maintain. The beliefs that they promote to people to believe.
Is the socialism. Socialism comes from society. It leads for the betterment of the society in general. Karl Marx in the 1800s was the first to call for the abolition of class distinction. So no one would be richer than the other one.
The economy is owned by the government. No private property is allowed. The government controls everything, the resources and the machinery and even the workforce. This benefits the society in the point that no private interests or businessmen are involved. So we are supposed to promote for socialism, and that's why it's good.
By depending on economy, free economy market, it focuses on human rights. Not like what we see in Stalin example in Russia. We know it more than 10 million people has died in building electricity, power, building some factories and something like that.
So what we will do now is we will move on to the media content, where it's divided into two different parts, where the first one is learning you or making you aware of how to analyze media content. The second part is how to create media content. So because we are an hour over time, I will not spend too much time explaining to you. So I will more likely show you directly into how to analyze, and then I will walk around and help you. What I want you to know is here you can see how I divided it. So like the effective use relates to how to use media. We will divide it into two, where one is accessing, another one is how to actually read the media. And then we have here how to make informed choices. It's not unimportant where you find your news, as we talked about yesterday. How and why media content is produced, and finally make the critical analysis. This refers to like how the different actors in the news piece are introduced or are referred to, how the language is used, how the content is presented, if the information is manipulated, if it's biased or one-sided, for example. Then the three last points relates to how you create your own pieces, which is how to creatively use the different outlets, so where to publish your pieces, how to identify, avoid and challenge the newspaper. So for example, if you read an article, if you read an interview or something where you don't like the content of what you're reading, how can you challenge that? Yeah. So when you have got the message,
I can use these factors to analyze.
exactly. Yeah. You're supposed to use all of them. Read the same story, but in a different newspaper, and then the message is focused on a little different. So, for example, if I ask my interviewees, so what did you think about the revolution? Was the revolution a good thing? Well, yeah, the revolution, I think the revolution was good. But a lot of people in Egypt didn't like it because. So that might be a way to say, to reflect your own opinions, but because it's very sensitive, and you don't want to say you think the government is really bad, or you think there has not been any change, or you think that Mubarak was much better, or whatever. You don't want to say that because it might put you in a bad light in front of the interviewer. So you cover it up to say that he thinks so. Okay? Okay, so when you have done an interview, don't make your article and you figure out that, well, I didn't include this. or this or that. Don't think that you have to include everything, because rarely you will. A lot of information, because you have a specific message in your article that you want to deliver to the people. So very rarely all the information for your interview goes in that article. Okay, so give yourself an applause. It was really good.